So, Mike, we're talking about fasting. You've written a book about this called Fasting, Rediscovering Ancient Pathways. Let's just start right from the beginning, the basics. What is fasting and why should anyone do it?
By definition, and I'm going to go with the original definition, by definition, fasting is abstaining from food or specific foods for a religious purpose. We have to understand that fasting started in the heart of God. That fasting may be used by other religious faiths for other reasons, but fasting originated by God himself, and it's a wonderful invitation to experience God himself. Fasting is abstaining from food, which if we use that definition, it gives us a clear platform to understand what it is and also immediately what it's not. Fasting is not, and again, I'm not gonna make any friends here, but fasting is not staying away from social media. Yeah. Fasting is not going to the movies. Fasting is not, staying away from the television or other entertainment type things. These are not fasting issues. These are disciplinary issues. If you're having an issue with turning off the TV, don't call it fasting. Call it what it is. Say you need more discipline in your life. If you're having a problem with social media, call it for what it is. Now, disciplinary issues can become issues of fasting, but not all disciplinary issues are issues of fasting. Disciplinary measures as it relates to food is the principle and the foundation of which I believe we have to return to in the place of fasting. It's this way with everything. If the enemy can't take it from you, he'll distort it, he'll pervert it, he'll dilute it, he'll detour you from it. And what I found is that the enemy has convinced us that if we can apply fasting to other issues, we can feel as if we're reaping the same reward. And again, I know that there's a fine line here and that I'm not making a lot of friends, but I'm not trying to, because we have to let the truth be what it is and then rally our lives around the truth. The only way we get the benefits from the truth is if we personify, embody, apply the truth as it is. And the truth as it is fasting is a refraining from food or specific foods.
So you feel like when people try to use other things as a substitute, there's some kind of, it doesn't have the same impact, in other words.
I don't believe it has the same impact. I believe that you can find God because it's an attention issue.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're not finding the Lord. I believe that you can find the Lord, and I believe that God is pleased in any way that you give him more attention. And if these are the ways that he has to begin in order to gain more access to your attention, I believe he'll do so. But the ultimate issue of fasting is one of food, because I don't believe we find any greater violent assault against our independence, against our natural desires, against our fleshly cravings, against our core will as it is, than we do in the place of fasting when it pertains to food. Fast food and tell me if it's the same as fasting TV. Fast food and tell me if it's the same as not going to the movies. Fast food and tell me if it's the same as the way you spend your money or the time that you spend on social media. The minute you begin to fast food, all of hell sounds the alarm, because it's a violent assault, yes, against your natural man. It's a declaration of war against self, is what it is. It's a declaration of war for who is going to be in control. Your spirit man wants to gain control over your will and your desires. And fasting penetrates that outer core that's able to stay alive through all of these other measures. And it really reveals the core issue, which is independence. It's the will. Fasting digs in.